Well, there's something I didn't realize about this Chris Reeve before I bought it. Not that everybody's interested in hearing a story. But unfortunately, there is a little bit of rust going on the blade. A little bit. I'm wondering if it'll show up on camera. Oh, yep. Nope. Maybe. A little bit of discoloration right here. I'll be honest, you can't see it unless it's in the perfect lighting. Not gonna happen. Tomorrow it's getting dropped off to be reblasted. And then sharpened as well. No, I agree that this thing's lightly used. It's just got some scratches on it, and when people buy things from me, they tend to like them in better condition than slightly used. So we're going to try acetone on the rust. I doubt it's going to do anything. Chris, what's up? Oh, nothing. Didn't think so, but it was worth a shot. Nice job. I don't remember when I hit 100. I do remember the knife that I bought for myself when I did, though. I bought myself a CRKT Minimalist and from Blade HQ and had them put 100 subscribers lasered onto the blade as a celebratory thing. I never did that again with any of the other milestones, but that first 100 was a big deal to me. Still have that thing. I don't know where it is, but I know I have it. Keep up the momentum, though. You don't want to stop like I did. I stopped YouTube for about 6 months, and I had to basically restart, and it sucked. Every one of these has a micro bevel. Oh, you guys can see it right there. Now, only the Tontos have a micro bevel for some reason. interesting choice. I don't think I would have done that, but all right. My goal, the knife company goal is going well. I just went and spent all my money on buying this thing. So I'm hoping I can get rid of it sometime here pretty soon. I'm always moving stuff, so you know the financial side of things is always really weird. Sometimes I've got like $600 sitting there, sometimes I have nothing. And you know, when you're trying to hit 20,000, it takes a bit. I have no outside, well, I'm not going to say no outside intervention, but very little of me shoving money into the channel that I know I won't get back. So these knives that I buy to resell, I buy either with my personal money or I buy them with the channel's money, fully understanding that the money that I get back will not be mine. It is the channel's money and eventually will be the company's money. So all of these knives that I buy to resell, that's kind of just the way that things are. I think I put 100 of my money into buying that, understanding that I won't get it back, which sucks, but I couldn't let it sit there because somebody else was going to get it for a similar price. So I'd much rather buy it and make like $20 on it and then resell it, you know. Comes with box and papers though, so that's pretty cool. I don't usually buy these things without box and papers. People don't like that. Some people just straight up won't buy them if they don't have box and papers. And I understand it when you're spending $300, $400, $500 on a knife, you kind of expect it to have some sort of documentation. Or stuff like this. I have somebody that's already interested in this one. Speaking of, I need to finish sharpening it. And then I don't think I have anybody overly interested in this one. All right, let's get to sharpening. Because we're using the corners of this thing, I don't have to worry about cleaning it out. Spray. Yeah, $100 is a small sacrifice to make in the long run. Dude, I use a coarse stone all the time, especially when reprofiling. Wish they didn't use belts on these things from factory. They put a micro bevel on this thing. On this side. Which sucks to deal with. What is happening? I'm sharpening a knife. Oh, we're getting somewhere. Mostly water. Dakota, what's up? I'm not sure if I have to spray that or not. I have been told that using a lubricant extends the life of the stone. And I think the stone was 180 bucks, so the longer I can go without needing a new one, the better. Uh, this is thread lock. No problem. You're just asking questions. It's not a big deal. Have somebody else that's interested in it, and I'll be honest, you kind of have something else that's. It's up to you if you want to like the stream or not. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's one of those things I don't do. I don't tell people to like, and I don't tell them to subscribe either. That is all up to you. Yeah, you've already got something pretty expensive in the works. And at your current rate of like 200 a month, it's going to take you like 3 months. Kingwin, what's up? Welcome back. Yeah, the thing I'm holding for you at the moment isn't exactly 600. It's a little less than that, but you know, if you want it, then you want it. If you decide you don't want it, then I would find someone else for it. That's unfortunate. Happens to everybody at some point, though. That's why you'll want to do something that you'll be proud of. Look back and remember some fun stuff. Mehmet, what's up? Gotta clean the blade off on this one real quick. There's some stuff on there that I don't want on there. Then we'll get right back to sharpening. A little bit of stuff right there up by the edge. And I swapped back to the paper stick Q-tips, by the way. Far better than the plastic ones. Those plastic ones sucked. There's a whole bunch of stuff on this side too. The only downside of the paper Q-tips, I can't cut them in half. Like, you can still break them in half, but you don't get that satisfying cut where one side goes flying and then you gotta find it. Oh, I wish this would work faster. Oh, that sucks. This is gonna take a while. I haven't gotten a whole lot of my family stuff when people pass. Mac, is that you? The best part is, I'm pretty sure I know exactly who it was. You're the only person that's been shadow banned. What did you say to cause that? Like, Jesus, dude. Yeah, I haven't seen anything that you said because I forgot to turn that on. Honestly, all messages should be turned on from the start of the stream. The fact that that's optional, disgusting. That should be mandatory. That's the worst part, is that it resets every time. That's stupid. But yeah, unless you're shadow banned, I'll respond within like 2 minutes. Max 2 minutes. That's dumb. I mean, you can comment. It's whether or not other people see it. All right, back to sharpening. For a minute, I'm going to swap to a higher grit stone. Just test something real quick. $400. That's really dumb. That sucks, dude. Do you have anything important on your YouTube channel? Like any videos or anything that set you out different from everybody else? Or a subscriber count, or... Well, obviously you said something extremely offensive to somebody. Whether it was actually offensive or not my decision. Well, another thought, you could just make... Oh, that's gonna suck, though. I was gonna say make a new account, but you just said that you had premium subscriptions to some people. Oh, that's gonna suck. Well, it's looking a lot better than it was, so that's a good thing. The spring for this one should be showing up sometime soon. This is a ZT300. It's larger than the 350. And it takes, I think, a 10 mil or a 9 mil or something. To 3/8 to unscrew the pivot. The 3/8 socket. Really, really weird choice, but you know, I think it's the only knife I know of that uses a socket instead of Torx bits. Danny, what's up? Well, we're getting low on the sharpening spray, so here in a minute we'll fill that up. You know, here a little while ago there was somebody who did lapidary stuff and asked for the recipe that I use for the spray. I'm wondering how that ended up working out. They do stuff with gemstones and stuff, so for anybody that doesn't know what lapidary stuff is. Set this up real quick. And we'll fill this up. Ooh, that would have sucked. Pro tip, don't mix this stuff in large batches. The oil, the water, and the alcohol separate. And it doesn't stay working well for very long. Yeah, it is a very sporadically priced. Actually, with the fact that it's got alcohol in it, isopropyl alcohol, it strips wood finishing off. Yeah, this isn't my kind of knife either. I bought it because it was ridiculously cheap. And the last one that I saw sold on Arizona Custom Knives went for like 450. So I thought I'd make a little bit of money on that. Now, one knife that I do need to get rid of as soon as possible is that small and Cosi that I got. It's a Tonto, though. I'm not sure how many people are going to be interested in that. It's in Magna Cut box and papers. And then before I ship it out, I will drop it off at the Chris Reeve shop and have them reblast it. So it'll be brand new before it's sent out, except for the tiny rust spot in a couple spots. And I would have mentioned it in the if I would have noticed it, but it's got to be the perfect lighting on. Oh, right there, those dots right there, and there's one right up here, right there. Now I don't know how they pulled that off, but the rust is there, and I don't think that there's anything I can do about it. Bring it in and ask them what can be done, and if they say nothing, then nothing. And it's not a huge deal. I mean, it's purely cosmetic. Other than that, you're getting a brand new knife for $380, which saves you, let's see, they're $425 new, and then tax on top of that. Well, if you like Tontos, you should buy it. God damn. So there's a micro bevel on this thing that I'm trying to get rid of. I'll pull out the microscope and show you guys real quick. Super annoying. It's the only reason I'm still sharpening at the moment. I would have been done a bit ago. Okay. Nice chip. Ooh, another chip. Yeah, none of those chips I take. So that's where the edge starts. And that tiny edge that you see, that's the micro bevel. None of that should be there. So that's what we're sitting here trying to I might try Evapo Rust if we have any. I'm not going to go out and buy some just to do that, because then I lose all the profit that I'm getting off of it. Genuinely, I'm making almost nothing off of that. And I won't use polish on it because it'll ruin the finish. It has a stone wash finish, and you really don't want to get rid of that unless you're going to go full polish. And I'm not going full polish on that. It's a waste of my time. Anyway, I get that it's reusable, but I don't deal with rusty knives very often. So how quickly is it going to pay for itself, is my question. Because if I waste all of the profit of that knife on the Evapo Rust, then what? Then all I got out of that knife was another tool. Nope. I have metal polish and that's it. God, they mangled this thing from factory too. When they were sharpening it, they sharpened all the way right here. All of this is factory. They gave it a smile. This side, I'll admit, that side was me. But this side was not me. It's at a completely different angle than my sharpening. Must have been a Friday. 5 o'clock on a Friday. I might try that one of these days. If I can get it cheap enough, I'll do it. I just don't want to drop a shit ton of money on a tool that I'm not going to use super often. I'm sure you can understand. Oh my god, doing this sucks. I started questioning a while back why I do sharpening on knives like this. And I continue asking myself that same question. Even though I know the answer is money, I'm torturing myself every time I do it. Baptiste, what's up? Pretty sure that I pronounced that right, but we'll find out here pretty soon. Holy shit, you butchered my name. I probably butchered it somewhere. Now, can I get it at Walmart or do I have to have it shipped? Because if I have to have it shipped, that like instantly doubles the price. I guess $7 wouldn't, or $8 wouldn't cut into my profits like too much. It still takes a decent chunk out of what I would have been making. I hate it when people take a shortcut to do this shit. Ooh, let me just give it a micro bevel and then I don't have to sharpen as much. Yeah, if you get 15 years of use out of it, then I guess that's better, but I don't like making initial purchases is my problem. I don't particularly enjoy the fact that I had to purchase this knife. Although I'm sure I can turn around and make a profit on it. The thing is, I just don't like having to do all the work that I put into. To be fair, I don't even have to. I could just sell it. I could have just sold it how I bought it. But there's the moral side of me that makes me think I don't want to sell garbage. And so I put in all the effort that it takes to get these things cleaned up because if I would have bought it and it ended up being in that condition, I wouldn't have been happy. Well, it's not the cleaning up that I'm worried about, it's the removing the stonewash that I'm worried about. You got to keep in mind, we're not talking about a Kershaw Iridium when it comes to this one. We're talking about a Chris Reeve. And an Iridium's 5 times less expensive than this knife. So you can understand my worry when it comes to that. Hi, Bob Rick. How's it going? Welcome back. There's gum in this thing. New year, new problems. Sounds about right. I'm just worried about my expensive investments. I think that that's a good way of putting it. You know, while we're here, let's take this off the table. Take this bad boy apart again. Okay. I love a good polished stone wash. And what I mean by that is when it's not rough to the touch. I don't like that feeling. The way that Millet does it, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't like that. Now, don't get me wrong, they make some nice ass knives, but I just don't like how it feels. Just paying for the name, I get it. Oh, you son of a bitch. You know, I didn't want to take all of these out all at once. But if none of them are going to come out easily, then well, then you understand what I'm getting at too. So, and it's not that I'm trying to make it sound like it's a super special knife. It's just that I spent over $300 on it. So if I'm going to clean it up and sell it, then I want to make sure that it's in as nice of condition as possible so that the end buyer is happy with it. Yeah, just throw free candy in there. No, see, people who buy my knives get free Q-tips, not candy. Whatever you use them for, not my problem. I know people buy the knives just to get to the Q-tips, so... Little do they know, I'm scamming them. Because I don't use Q-tip brand Q-tips. Ooh. Well, that worked out well. Damn it. How many knives are out where? On the table? A lot. I have a shit ton of knives on the table right now. They're just all off to the sides. I have no clue how many knives exist. I know that there's at least 2070 of this model, because this is serial number 2070. Give me a sec to finish cleaning this one real quick. At least clean it up a little bit better, and then... Okay. I don't know about you, but I know people that have more hammers than knives. I'm going to say that hammers are probably up there pretty high, too. Like, don't get me wrong, there's people that have hundreds of knives, but... Like, my dad doesn't collect knives, and he's got, like, 20 hammers. I don't collect hammers, and I got, like, 7 of them. Where they all come from, I kind of just stopped asking, because they just show up, you know? Speaking of multi-tools, I need to sell this one. I think it's a Gerber MP600. Got the replaceable wire cutters. I am closing down my collection. I'm slowly getting rid of it. I have certain knives that I like, and I can't afford to be constantly buying all the budget stuff when the stuff I want isn't budget stuff. Like this one I've wanted for a while, so I went and bought it. It's a Buck 112 Slim in S30V. And I've also decided, for the most part, that I'm done buying budget knives to sell because they just don't sell. There's certain budget knives that I'll buy to resell, you know, and I'll make like $5 on them, but oh yeah, it's all just the name. Don't get me wrong, they make good stuff. But they're not worth how much they're asking for them, especially now that the bug out's $200. $200 for a bunch of plastic with a metal blade, and that's about it. Where did no. I've seen plenty of them. I probably wouldn't want to get my hands on one. I think I'm just going to not use acetone for this. I'll stick with alcohol. Yeah, exotic cars are kind of the same. No, I am a gun guy. I just can't afford them. You know, when I'm dropping gun prices on knives, guns aren't in the picture, especially when I need to fill out paperwork to get them, and I can just go buy a knife off the shelf. Don't need to fill out a, what, 4473? Overall, just an easier and better experience when it comes to buying knives. And the government doesn't know that I have 100-something knives. You know, I'm not going to get the ATF coming to my door and saying, hey, we want to take a look at your knife collection. We noticed that you bought 30 knives last month. Can you tell us what's up with that? I'm sure. Yeah, I know the 4473 doesn't take very long to fill out. I don't know how long it's going to take to get approved, is my bigger problem. And I don't like to wait. So, with a waiting period of up to 5 days, no. I like that instant gratification. You cut a lot of Amazon boxes? I don't. See, I don't mind talking about politics. It just makes like everybody leave when I do. You say like the most mild take on the geopolitical climate of the world, and then instantly everybody leaves. So I kind of just decided to stop talking about it because nobody else likes it. Yeah, just one cardboard box, and that's good enough. Yeah, cleaning this thing up before I get rid of it. These things are like $125 new. How they came up with that excuse, I have no clue. Well, okay, so I've had productive conversations when only one person can talk. And that sounds dumb, but hear me out when I say this. I've had political disagreements with people in my comment section here in my live streams. And when they're forced to listen to you and then think before they type, it can be a lot more productive than, and especially if it's just one of them talking at one given point in time. It's super easy to have a regular conversation, and they tend to be quite productive. All right, what size is that? It just all depends, you know. When you're not getting ganged up on, then you can have a normal productive conversation with people. It works out great. I got this thing for cheap because the guy that was selling it thought that the pliers were supposed to go all the way into the handle when they're not. He thought it was broken, so I mean it's a little crusty, but it's not terrible. Yeah, I do find that interesting how you can. Sure, but when you ask them why they feel that way, that what tends to happen is instead of attacking your view on something, they attack you as a person. And when you make it clear that this doesn't always work, but when you make it clear that that's not okay, we're having a conversation, a normal conversation, with differing opinions, you don't need to attack the other person for that. Just have the conversation. Talk. See what you disagree about. Ask questions. Nobody does that anymore. Just ask questions. See why, you know? Why do they disagree with you? Not, oh, they disagree with me. And you know, don't believe everything that you hear either. Go look it up for yourself. That's why I look things up after I say them, which I should probably think about looking them up before I say them, but here on my live streams I talk about a lot of stuff. And if I'm not 100% sure on something, I'll look it up right after I say it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll admit to it because it happens all the time. And that's fine. Well, I don't see why you'd get so mad about that. Like, they're just other people. Like, you can have a disagreement with people, and that's not a big deal. You know, it used to not be a big deal at all. It used to be, I like the color blue. Well, I like the color orange, but I like the color red. And then you kind of just left it at that, you know? And you didn't say, well, you like blue, so you're stupid. And because you like pink and you don't like red, then you're dumb too. You know, it's just an opinion. It's not hard to sit there and talk to people. I like gold too. Yeah, I don't see why you'd ask somebody their opinion and then. Yeah, that's dumb. Like, you literally asked and then you don't want to know. But I don't mind talking about it. It's just, like I said, when you talk about politics, everybody leaves. And that's fine. You know, I don't want to say that, like, current stuff. I think that people getting hurt sucks. I don't want to be seeing anybody getting hurt for their opinions. That's terrible on either side. Because I have a differing opinion, uh, you know, me getting hurt isn't okay. It's the same thing with everybody else, even if they disagree with me. Because it's not that big of a deal to me. It really isn't. I like the color gold. The color gold is one of my favorites, along up there with purple. I love purple. Gold is still my favorite because when you see it in natural sunlight, oh, it's just something else. But like, you can get gold colored titanium and it looks amazing. Purple gold I wouldn't mess with because And it's another one of those things where you'll probably have to hear me out when I say it. It's got aluminum in the mixture. That's why it's purple. No clue how that works. But it lowers the structural integrity of it when you put too much of it in there and it becomes brittle. Instead of being come on, there instead of being malleable like gold naturally is, it becomes brittle. So I just stick with purple titanium because I love titanium. It's just nice stuff. Oh no, purple gold is a completely different um, alloy than other golds because where gold like 22, 10 karat, 12 karat, stuff like that is usually a mix of copper, silver, and gold. Um, gold, purple gold is aluminum, and it changes the malleability of it significantly with very, very small percentages. If you go watch, I think Nile Red did a video on it. Um, it is some interesting stuff, but I wouldn't mess with it personally. And I love titanium because it's when I was a kid, I thought that titanium was one of the most expensive materials out there, and maybe back then it was. But the fact that I've got my hands on so much of it nowadays, I just find it cool. It brings my inner child much happiness, and we will leave that there. See, I don't like orange or green all that much personally, just because I don't. Like in nature, they look good, but there's something about seeing somebody with an orange shirt on that just not my thing. I don't own much orange stuff personally, unless it's something that I need to see. Like if I'm going out doing outdoor stuff, this is perfectly fine because almost nothing is orange in nature. Same thing with blue. I mean, I kind of like blue, but I prefer purple over it. Blue doesn't happen much in nature. That's why the bug out was blue originally, because it was designed to be an ultralight backpacking knife. And now that it's become this EDC bullshit, it's not what it used to be. But yeah, I stopped liking blue because of that. No, this is a Gerber or something or other. I'm not 100% sure what model it is. But yeah, because the pliers stick out at the end, they thought it was broken, so I got it for cheap. I don't think I do have a rebar. This is very similar to a model that almost killed me, though. Don't use a serrated knife as if it was a saw. My most expensive knife at the moment is a Chris Reeve Large and Cozy. Brand new cost is 600. No. Yeah, $650. Dude, it'd be sick if vibranium was a real thing, but then you got the problem of the fact that it retains kinetic energy. So when you drop your knife made out of vibranium, and then instead of denting, it holds on to that kinetic energy, then you go to pick it up and it breaks your fingers. Or you drop it onto the ground and then it like shatters the concrete that it landed on. It'd be hilarious, but oh, it kind of suck too. Well, that's not too bad. Natrix is like $50. Good on you for not getting too deep into the hobby. See, I didn't get super into the comics and stuff, so I don't know everything about all these. Funny, funny, funny. I remember when there was I don't know if it's still an undiscovered element, but in second grade they had an undiscovered element on the periodic table in my science class called unununium, and I don't remember which one it was, but like on almost every one of the you guys know the periodic tables, it was different because nobody actually came up with finding any of it yet or making it. So they just always gave it random names. I'm sure that that's fake, but funny name. So once I'm done cleaning this one, I got further on the 300, but it's not done. So I'm going to be done for the night after that. I am glad that I went back to the paper Q-tips because these things don't suck. The only downside, other than not being able to cut them in half, is I don't get to make those super sharp tools anymore for um, oh, what was it? For applying oil and grease and stuff. Although I've kept the ones that I've made. All right. I had a lot of people in today's stream. Maybe I should live stream on Sundays more. I think I had like 60 people at one point. Pretty solid number right there. Holy shit, I cut it in half. I've never been able to do that before. Damn. Not bad for $1. Yeah. Ooh, that's a fun idea. For every knife that somebody buys, they have a chance of getting a cut Q-tip. It's a 1 of 500 chance to get it, because I'll only do 1 per box. They are worth nothing. Venus is a weird-ass planet. I mean, to be fair, if anything lived on Venus, they'd probably say the same thing about Earth. How barbaric. We use solidified plutonium that's been carburized for our knives. Okay. Lubricant now. Well, there's the issue is you can't 3D print something on Venus. Oh, but KO, why do you say that? Well, the 3D printer would melt. When Sandrin came out with their first knife, God, it's about damn time these humans started using tungsten carbide. Yeah, the problem though is that how are they going to make a spacefaring vessel that can withstand all that shit? An Arno Bernard Orca 2.0 in plain titanium because I don't need inlays. Same reason why none of my personal Chris Reeve knives have any inlays. I find them to be useful for one thing, and that's cosmetics, and I don't give a shit about that. Andrew, what's up? How's it going? Just working on a multi-tool before I get ready to sell it. Overall, it's not in terrible condition. It was just dirty. Um, let me find out. Jesus Christ. Let me find out how much they go for on eBay, and then I'll give you a better price than eBay. Damn it, that phone's dead. Can someone look up Gerber MP600? I think that's what this is. And tell me how much they go for on eBay. They're not super expensive on eBay. I think they're going for like $40, but I'm not 100% sure. Used, not new. I know it's like 130 new. It's like 110 to 130, but I want to know how much they go for used. Well, I clean them with Q-tips because I have nothing better to do, and for some reason you guys are still watching. So believe me when I say, if you guys weren't watching, 35. I do Cash App at the moment because I've been burned by PayPal in the past. I don't need them holding my money hostage for a month. Was not impressed by that. $35. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I'd probably do 35 free shipping because it's probably 35 plus like 8 in shipping. Fork you autocorrect. It won't even let you insult it. Do I have any Leathermans for sale? Not at the moment. However, what are you looking for? And maybe I can help you find something. I'm sure if I typed fork, it would autocorrect to fuck. So real quick, test this out. Not bad. That actually didn't take much effort. Beautiful. A Wave Plus? I can probably get a Wave Plus, yeah. Probably be right around 40 or 50. Depends on the condition on those. I do want to warn you though, the Leathermans tend to have too many tools for me to clean them the way that I'm cleaning this one. So I will look for the one that's in best condition, but yeah. The gun one. Oh, the one that has gun tools on it? I can find you one of those, and I know exactly where one of those is. I don't know how much it is, though. So one of my pawn shops has one of those that's got like the gun tools on it. Although I'm not sure how much they're asking for it. Well, let me see what I can do. If you want that, then hit me up on Instagram or something, telling me what you were looking for, and I'll see what I can do. That gun one's probably going to be pretty expensive, though. Like, I may be able to talk them down, but, I like making a little bit of money on stuff. So if they're 200 or more new, here's what's likely going to have to happen. And I've done this once before and it worked out perfectly. I will end up going to that pawn shop, and if I can get it for a decent enough price that you agree with, then you'll need to send the money first, and then I'll buy it. Did that 2 weeks ago. with the most expensive knife I've ever sold. Worked out flawlessly, other than the guy taking a lot of time to respond. But yeah, it worked out great. The MSRP of this thing was $90. Shit, wish Gerber still made halfway decent shit. I think I have an MP 400 or something. And that's the one that almost killed me. Jack, what's up? No, I have not. Is it sharp? It's got a few chips. I don't think it's going to be terrible, though. Am I from USA? Yes, I am from USA. Aaron, haven't I sold shit to you before? I've sharpened multi-tools a few times. It's not the most fun experience. Wrong, Aaron? Okay, then. I know you've been around for a while. You've shown up to quite a few of these streams. Yeah, I don't do that, so definitely not taking this thing apart. Okay. A little more grease. We're putting grease in all the spots that slide. Oh, that worked out great. Well, I don't know how in the hell you're supposed to take this thing apart, but I'm not messing with it. And I've never had issues sharpening a multi-tool, so I doubt it would start with this one. Okay. Go ahead and pull all the tools out. Yeah, I don't see how sharpening this would be a pain in the ass. It's really not that bad. Well, there we go. Got grease in all those tools so that they'll actually close now. I do freehand on everything, so like it's annoying on one side, but the other side's fine. Not bad. And with as many knives as I've sharpened, it's kind of just mildly annoying for a couple minutes. I've had that conversation before. Okay, so I'm done with the lubricant. Now I need, oh, Q-tips. Okay. A little bit more messing with the Q-tip. Well, that'd be interesting. Now it's ready for sale. Other than maybe a sharpening job. We'll go ahead and do that real quick. Get the Benchmade and the ZT out of the way. I see. Yep. Huh. I never quite got much into the multi-tools, so what ollie is used? I think you meant oil, but it's mostly water. It's 2 ounces of water, 15 drops of mineral oil, 80 drops of isopropyl alcohol, 70%, and then 2 drops of Dawn dish soap. I don't carry a multi-tool because they're too heavy and I don't wear a belt, so there's nowhere for me to put it. It doesn't rust from the stuff that I use. The Dawn is just because it's soapy water. And I heard good things about soapy water. How supposedly the soap helps pull particles out of the diamonds. So I just did what everybody else does on that. The oils just are supposed to help with one, lubrication, and two, it's supposed to help with preventing the stones, these from rusting. And then the alcohol helps it dry up quicker so it doesn't sit there making your stuff rust for extended periods of time. But it works out pretty well. Well, that's why you have to shake it every time. As you've noticed, there's water and alcohol on the bottom, and then a thin layer of oil and stuff on top. Knives, I guess, what's up? Retro, what's up? Welcome back. I keep on meaning to send that email to the people who have purchased from me to see who it was that was interested in that Chavez, and I keep forgetting. Damn, this shit's soft. I don't do anything after 1,000 on this one. At least I'm not going to. I hate stropping in the wrong direction. Don't get me wrong, I expected a soft blade too, but pardon me for still having hope in a childhood brand. Well, how old is it? You can't just tell me that and then not tell me how old it is. Dakota Horn, what's up? Could have fooled me. I don't think I've ever been impressed with a Gerber knife when it comes to heat treat. I would like to also say I've never tried one of their American knives for heat treat. The only Gerber strong arm I went to sharpen was heat treated and ground like shit. It was genuinely the most disappointing um, grind job I think I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot because I've seen a lot. John, what's up? Johan, what's up? A lot of work for me to make like $10. Yeah, I am a knife snob, but I've seen a lot of. Never had somebody openly tell me that. That's funny. I am a bit of a knife snob, but you got to keep in mind, I've spent my fair share on cheap shit. That's sad. I encourage you guys to go way back in my shorts and look up the one where I returned my CJRB pyrite. And go listen to the video first and then go read the comments. I think I responded to every comment on that video. I personally think about the best steel that I can't wait for this to take over. Yeah. 440C is pretty similar to 154. Here's the current problem is everybody who does 440C right now heat treats it to like 57. 56 to 57 HRC. And that's just the kind of performance you're going to get from that is dog shit. But if there was one maker who did it at like 60, it would actually be considered a good steel. It's just everybody does it at such a disappointingly low HRC that it's never good. Yeah, personally, because I only really care about edge retention, if I got D2, I'd want it at like 63 HRC. It's going to have no toughness when I get it like that, but I don't care because all I care about is edge retention. Well, yeah, for most steels, it's either edge retention or toughness. That's it. You don't get, you do get an in between, but they choose to go on the soft side so that it gets that toughness. And they don't do shit for those knife snobs like me, even though it costs the same to do it either way. I rotate my knives often. At the moment, it's a ZT 550. It's an S35 at 59, I think. I think that's what they were running back then. I did spend quite a bit of time making sure that it was a very, very smooth knife. Polished the washers. I super glued them to the scales to make sure that they didn't move, so it had a consistent action. I love this thing. It actually has a really light detent. Ramazan, what's up? Yeah, when you're using a tool wrong, that's your fault. Oh, I hate having to use scissors. But I would like to show you guys. I don't know if I'm supposed to show you guys this yet or not, but it's a knife we're coming up with. And if we're lucky, it should be out by the end of the year. This is what we're working with at the moment. Now the plan is, it's not going to be this small. This was just me printing it, and this was the best I could do at the moment when I was printing it to help us get one of the biggest issues fixed on it. And I'm not going to give you guys a name yet until I have prototypes in hand. But it will have a cardboard prototype. Nah. It'll have wire clip. Should fit. Now the production version will fit all Spyderco aftermarket wire clips. So if you can get like where was I going with that? Like a Lynch Northwest wire clip replacement, you can get it put on there. It should fit all of them. Definitely going to be an interesting model. We're hoping price point's going to be around 40. But I can't tell you guys a name or anything about it yet. I want prototypes in hand first. Oh, I love this knife. It is a liner lock. I hate that when companies do this, where it's got a steel frame and G10 and then titanium or stainless on the other side. I hate that so much. So much. It's a huge pain to me. Like, just go with full titanium. It doesn't cost that much more. It's going to be like $2 more. But no. Now, instead of you doing it from factory, I have to do it myself and find somebody to make that shit for $150. Speaking of which, I found somebody to make that shit for $150. Now, how do you pull that off? Because a lot of parts don't fit with other knives. Yes, it is. And I have quite a few titanium knives because of that reason. Although I think none of them are in this drawer. They're all in the top drawer. Like, I have 4 Chris Reeve knives at the moment. I have a plain small Nkosi. I have a large Nkosi. I've got 2 large Sebenzas. No. Nope. Huh. I mean, I've done something similar. I've taken washers from a Kershaw leak and stuck them into a QSB Parrot, and it worked. No, full titanium typically means both sides are titanium. So with this aftermarket scale, the I'm gonna have a cutout right here so that I can lead my thumb into there like I did with the aftermarket Sebenza scale. You can make a titanium blade. There's sintered titanium. There's SM100. That's 40% titanium and 60% nickel. There's a lot of options out there, and by a lot I mean like 4. Definitely smooth for a 10-year-old knife. No, but it's rust proof. As in not stainless, it is rust proof. Titanium doesn't rust. It may corrode, but it doesn't rust. Well, this isn't. Yeah, I get what you're talking about. I think this is a bead blasted finish. Okay, what I mean by when I say rust proof, rust to me is like a parasite and it continues eating. Titanium doesn't do that. Again, unless electricity is involved, it won't do that. That's why gold coating would be cool. The problem is gold would scratch away pretty quick. Yeah, just call me while I'm live streaming, why don't you? Yeah, and that would be pretty cool. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go take care of that. So I'll probably end the stream here. I have nothing else to do at the moment anyway, so hopefully you have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. Mac, I hope that you get your channel fixed. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. No, I didn't get a spicy text. I got a phone call. We'll see you guys later.